All right, hello. It's Saturday. We are back for yet another stream, picking up where we left off last week with our redacted build, the full mechanics Miles Kembu. So excited to make some more progress on that. Definitely a lot of pieces to this build. This will be fun one to paint and make other modifications too. It's been a fun build so far. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday and a great weekend so far. Yeah. I'm going to jump in the chat, say hello before I do a couple quick things. Number one, if you enjoy these streams, please do hit the like button. It helps us out tremendously. And don't forget that the 30 to 80% off deals are still carried over from Black Friday, Cyber Monday, as we head towards shutting everything down in the warehouse. So take advantage of those. Had a pretty nice Kotobukiya restock yesterday, so a few interesting ones there. Not sure if that's all sold out or not yet, but there's definitely some cool items there. All right, I'm gonna jump in the chat, say hello, and then start cutting some pieces out. What's up, Dylan Dull? How are you? Matthew Mahoney, Alt Tyson, what's going on? Derek, Lord Kronos, how are you? Pockets, Matthew Mahoney, Baka ZCO, Mercus Hatch, what's going on? Butterknuckles, what's up? Adam Champo, Rob Souther, how are you? What's up, Weeks? What's going on? All right. Why is this so far behind where we actually are? My stream stats and everything are behind. What's going on with that? Blue Man Punk, what's going on? Thank you for the sub. HMI Say. Of course. Try this again. Sorry for the delay, guys. Looks like YouTube logged me out or something, so I want to make sure I have the other screen up. Hey, Real Time 88, what's going on? What's everybody up to tonight? You guys building along or working on doing something else? Here we go. Almost there. Roundabout way ever to get where I'm trying to get to. Now we go. Now it's up 5. What's up, Maverick Entity? Still working on MG Zaku cannon. That's cool. Interesting kit. I think we used to have one in the display case at the warehouse. I think Dylan had brought it in back in the day. Okay, A5, B2, and this is ×2. Hey, Adam Champo, sad to hear about Mecha Warehouse closing, but thank you, Nick, for running a business I was happy to spend my money at. No problem, Adam. Appreciate the support over the years. Making progress on the RG Shining, nice. Picked a couple of those at the warehouse today. We were running an extra shift today, 2 stations. Trying to work on our massive backlog of orders we need to ship. Continued redacted 3 build also tonight. Awesome. How far are you? One of these days I'm actually gonna make like a metal base and magnetize this whole thing. B2. Starting the waste unit now. Nice. Bit of a crazy day too, with the whole extra shift today. I expected to have a little bit more downtime than I did between printing and picking orders for the guys, and didn't, which I think is a good thing. I think that means that they are moving at a pretty solid clip packing wise. I've still got a lot of crazy orders in the mix. I built one leg and cut out the other foot so far. My Redacted 3. Just finished snap building the Kempo today, except for the weapons and backpack. Gonna work on those next. Nice. Building my dead computer, if that counts, that's cool. Rebuilding it, maybe? Hey, Area Mao, what's up? Ravage, how are you? Scribing in the Redacted kit, then puttying, scribing, then standing, rinse, and repeat. Things not coming out the way you want, or something, and redoing stuff, or is it something else? Yeah, RAM channels blew out on my Mopo, replacing it. When you say blew out, how do you know they were blown out? Just failing RAM stuff or something? Just not looking quite right. Gotcha. I feel like I should go look. I think we have the footage all up on the channel. I probably should go find a time to go look. We had Plomo LAB at AnyMech do a scribing and like scratch building kind of tutorial, and I'm pretty sure that would be good stuff right there. A good idea for color scheme once I'm done snapping it. Nice. Does anyone have any recommendations on compressors? Bought an airbrush, and I'm slowly getting all the supplies to paint Redacted 3. I do not. There's like a Harbor Freight one I've seen some good things about that I've thought about grabbing because I'm not super happy with my Masters compressor. I think I want, if I get a new one, I want one with a bigger tank so it can go longer without needing to refill. Rewatch that tutorial before I get too deep into any mods. I think everybody who participated said it was really good. I didn't get to sit and watch it live, and I don't know if I've watched the video or not. I might have. This Kempo kit is really cool. I like quite a bit. That's awesome. Got a no-name 2D from Spray Gunner, and it's been working pretty good for a couple of years. Not too noisy either. After all the diagnosis, that's the conclusion. Thought it was power, then CPU won't know until this next step really. That's the pain in the butt part about troubleshooting and fixing computer issues, is you never really know, do you? Like, you gotta spend money to figure stuff out sometimes because you gotta replace parts and you don't really know if you really needed to replace that part or not. Same problem at work sometimes. Whoops. Same problem at work sometimes. Troubleshooting hardware issues on a product we're working on or something. And sometimes you can narrow it down and get confident that you really do need to replace the part, and sometimes you just got to try it. It's a little different when you're building prototypes though, and you got to just have your parts lying around. Looking forward to learning how to paint with an airbrush. I really didn't like using rattle cans on Redacted 2. I've never done any serious painting with rattle cans, and I imagined I would not like it. This is the full-blown mech Kembu? Yes. Full mechanics Kembu, yes. Exactly, but nice if it was something visually broken, right? Noise is always one of the barriers to getting into spraying. My build time is after my kid goes to sleep, so I know I don't want to wake him. What's up, Bird Soup? How are you? Sometimes you just gotta load the parts cannon and take a shot. Very true. And then the ever fun, is it hardware or software? That's always fun. Too much wasted paint with cans on Gunpla, in my opinion. Probably. Fumes and controlling the paint thickness in the part were my issues with spray cans. Yeah, there's a lot more control you have with an airbrush, because you can change the brush itself, you can change your needle size, you can change your pressure. I think I already said that. You can thin it to whatever ratios you want to thin it at. There's a lot of control, which is good and bad. It's a pain in the butt when you're learning sometimes to figure out exactly what you need. Hey, the Solid Monkey, how are you? Johnny, what's going on? Hardware or software or the user, which one is it? Yeah. There's that too. Cans is just for convenience, and honestly, I recommend people just skip altogether, at least for models. I would agree, but I think there are circumstances where cans can be useful with models. If you're covering large surface area, it might be a faster way to get up and running for base coats and things like that. Or top coats, I think, are viable. No, I say that, and I definitely use the airbrush when I'm painting. I don't use cans in the mix, but that might be where it's applicable. Waiting for paint to dry for my Fat Cat God Gundam Custom. Cool. Top coats primers, I'll say, right. And that's the territory where I might want to try that, well, I forget what it's called, that Display airbrush that came out recently. So WD-30th? Something like Neozeon, Dendrobium. Yeah, I can't imagine using an airbrush on my Dendrobium. I need a bigger airbrush, like a broader spray. Alright, B15. I'll need 16 and 17, so I might as well get those two while I'm at it. I use to me a spray can primer to check seam lines, etc. real quick when I don't want to use the airbrush. That makes sense. I kind of wish there was like a non-paint sprayable that was easy to have on the bench to spray for that very purpose. That, you know, just wipes off or something that you could use to check seam lines and nubs and things like that to make sure you actually got them off. Surfaces get too large and you get the spray pattern issue with airbrushes, and I'll say go cans, you get a different type of airbrush. The idea of changing out airbrushes between colors instead of cleaning the cup each time would speed up painting for sure. Yeah, it's also expensive if you need to have multiple airbrushes, though. Most people don't want to buy multiple airbrushes to have multiple different colors. Like, some people will have one for metallics and one for regular colors. In my experience, it hasn't really mattered. And multiple airbrushes is helpful if you can afford more. Have some for base colors, primers, and metallics. I could see having, you got one for main detail work and one for base coats and things like that. One for metallics, maybe. Definitely recommend at least one for metallics. I haven't had any issues with cleaning my airbrush in terms of getting rid of metallics. Maybe it's because I use acrylics. Maybe it would matter more if I was using lacquers. I don't know. Any airbrushing experts? If you don't clean good, some of those flakes stay. But I guess I must clean good then, because I don't have that problem. Yeah, I use lacquers. That's been my issue in the past. Spay airbrush seems like a good option for the price. As a secondary brush, yeah, they sent me one with the last order as a sample, so I might play with that at some point to experiment with using that for like base coats and stuff. To clean better, maybe. I just don't have any choice because I only have the one, so. I was at one point, I think I still kind of do. I typically just tear mine down to clean between colors even. At one point I was having enough issues with it that I was cleaning it sometimes every other reload or so of the same color if I was doing a lot of one color, because I was getting dry paint in there. Lacquer and use a separate cheap brush for metallics. It's awesome. I'd love a video review or Discord post about it after you try it out. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I don't know when I'll get around to trying it or how excited I'll be about doing the video, but we'll see. Let's finish those steps. Does anyone else find their razor or other glass file doesn't do well with things that are less proud on the surface, such as when you have a very subtle mold line? I feel like the razor often doesn't cut it very well. Curious if that's a me thing, maybe a technique thing and how I use it, or if that's something other people experience as well. Yes, not good for that. I feel my razor is getting dull. There's a question for the chat. When the instructions say to build 2 of something like the feet of a kit, do you build both at the same time, or do you run through one and start over and do the second? Usually I do like them side by side. I would agree with that with subtle mold lines. Mine did, so I had to buy a second one. Oh god, dull. I ended up buying a razor and a razor plus. Mine is not dull, just my name. Like the extra grit from the thick one. I have a plus around here somewhere. I should try it at some point. But the plus eats faster, slightly less control if you're not paying attention. Great for larger or more hard nubs. Maybe my technique or how I cleaned it, but I still feel like it was money well spent. Yeah, maybe get 2 years and a bunch of kits out of something like that. They're not, I wouldn't say they're cheap, but they're also not, you know, hundreds of dollars or anything. So if you amortize that over a number of kits, then it could still be a pretty good deal. Time almost isn't a good measurement either, because some people, you know, build a few kits a year, and some people build a few kits a week or a month. Like, the better measurement is probably kits, not time. Mine has been with me for almost every kit I've built in 4+ years, so close to 70. It's a pretty good number of kits. Clean your razor file with a soft toothbrush and some rubbing alcohol. Does rubbing alcohol work? I've heard people say that you don't want to use water. I'm not sure if I believe them or not. I used water. Okay, well, maybe that's a sign that you shouldn't use water if you feel like yours switched over in a couple years or got, reduced its performance in that time frame. Just to clean it out, you can dry it off before you use it again. You need a solvent that eats the plastic but won't touch the file itself. Like, it'd be interesting if there was like a thinner Tamiya cement kind of mixture that you could dip your razor in, would melt the plastic and help it drain out, maybe with some agitation, and not make things worse in any way. Maybe I should reach out to Gun Primer at some time and suggest something like that. See if they can research it. Temporarily lost a razor and terminating backup, so I'm waiting on my backup razor from Mecha Warehouse. Nice. Soak in some acetone or mech. What's mech? Methyl ethyl ketone. The acetone might be too harsh for it. I mean, how does acetone react with glass otherwise? Shouldn't hurt glass and melt the plastic. I've used acetone in glass jars. Isn't there silicone or plastic on the top side of the razor? Yeah, I'm not sure what that is made of. I mean, I think the printed piece is actually like inside of it a little bit, but I'm not sure how that's done. Feels like it's just a thin layer of silicone. I even see an air bubble in mine. Oh, interesting. He's gonna be visible. So only if it folds out or something, maybe. Was that an air bubble? Just a tiny dab of glue from a past repair. Oh, there you go. All right, moving on. C18. So at the gun primer site, they say clean with masking tape or water. Still silicone though. Got the main build done. We'll decide what I'm doing once my order comes in. I can check out some ideas I have with the kit that's in it. It's cool. I was thinking some sort of kit bash thing. How many people have their kit well figured out already, like what they're doing for their competition build, if you're participating anyway? Maybe I know I want to try to do some work in the cockpit area. know roughly the color scheme I want to try, and I want to scribe some panel lines and maybe use plot plate to add some more texture detail in places. But I don't know exactly how I'm going to go about it yet. The concept I want, I'm just not sure how to get the specific color blended. It's up Argent Griever. Not fully sure, but feel like I will once I have it snapped together. It'll probably help. I have a feeling once I get this thing fully assembled, it will be a little bit easier. Figure out where I'm going to carve out lines and stuff. One of the grips on my Mr. Hobby Nippers just slid off. Maybe it's time to replace them with new Mr. Hobby Nippers. Heck, where's my Quanta MG order? Same place all the other orders are, dude. In queue, waiting to go out. We've been putting in extra hours, doing everything we can to ship orders. We had an unprecedented number of orders, and like we've been saying in every email that's gone out, and every time anybody asks, it's just going to take time. So wing it so far and hoping it sorts itself out. There you go. Articulation gives it a lot of character already. Someone didn't read the emails right. Just now getting out to sit down for build night. Sick kiddos make bedtime 3 times longer. Everyone's a night. What's up, Velocidad? Sick kiddos is no fun. C2 and F8. Do I do the pilot? Do I not do the pilot? Cockpit's probably going to be closed. F8. I share my MG Shenlong char to you. I don't know. Is the pilot Goku? His hair looks kind of like Goku. From what I can see on the email, the first order should ship this upcoming week, barring any unforeseen issues. Getting there. I think we're ahead of the estimates we've been publishing a little bit, but it depends on when you place your order. I had somebody ask, and they mentioned that the wait was listed as 2 weeks when they order, and it's been 3 or something. But it all depends, you know, if we put out the update and then you ordered, like, I don't know, later in that day and it was a big day, it could change by weeks, you know. I miss all the Shopify shipping emails. I'll get a nice surprise in like 4 weeks. And the ETA for MG Barbatos. The Lupus, I think we might have a batch on the way already, or about to be. So hopefully soon. Today's shift helped a lot. We made some decent progress and got a little more ahead. So hopefully it'll be noticeable. I haven't checked the total number of orders left in the queue since, whether we moved the needle or not, whether we can say 4 weeks instead of 5 or whatever the latest public announcement's been. All right. This cockpit is actually probably one of the more detailed cockpits I've seen. Given the crazy order volume and progress looking good so far. Yeah, I feel like we would have been buried even back in the day when we had more packers and more packing stations and all that kind of stuff. We obviously wouldn't have been buried as long, but it's a lot of orders to work through. So I was like, I need to do something with it. Yeah, cockpit's pretty cool on this. Like, you could actually paint the cockpit itself. You almost need to put like an LED in there or something. Ooh. Oh, I don't want to spend the energy on that, but it feels almost like you need to. I might have to make this my first painted pilot figure. I don't know. No whammy on getting this product shipped at work, so I can actually take that last couple weeks of December off and maybe actually make progress on this. Starting EW Ultron, need to put in my order for the EW Heavy Arms Custom. I always tell when people have never worked in retail warehouse work, especially during Christmas time, right? Black Friday order is set to arrive on my birthday this week. Nice. Thanks to PG Zaku. Gotta paint those pilots. Yeah, I really don't want to, but as I look at this, I feel like a painted pilot with like a little LED in the ceiling above him, maybe like a colored LED, like a little bit of like a red, like battle stations kind of hue or something coming down on it, or green or something. There's probably plenty of room to run cables inside this. Not any rush to get my order in though. I'll probably go right to my pack log. Unforeseen time. It's bought an RG Avalanche. Excited to build that one. That's cool. Does this like open up? Like, how is this supposed to, like, oh my god, it's got detail on the inside and front of the whole like HUD area or whatever you want to call it. How does this cockpit open? I'm kind of assuming a front open like a Gundam, but is that not true in the anime? How hard is it to install LEDs? I've always thought about giving a try. And where do you buy them? Top. Okay. LEDs aren't that hard. I say that though, having an electrical engineering degree, so I'm not really afraid of wiring something up and figuring that out. But it's really not that hard. I've heard people talk about Evans LED. You can buy LEDs a lot of places. I've got LEDs around. I've bought LEDs from like DigiKey, which is a place a lot of engineering places, like if you're designing something, would get parts. Under my account, Mecha Warehouse, did the math on how many orders I have, and it's 192 currently. We have some records out there for sure. We should wrap everything up and send out trophies when all is said and done. Have some trophies made. That would be pretty funny. Have an awards show. I never thought about that, but that might actually be a good idea. I got to figure out what that would cost. Maybe we got to we display any I got proudly to figure out how we would do that. Thought I had a ton of orders, but I'm not even close. E1 18. I think Sean's actually got close to the record for number of orders, because he placed an order for, you know, a thing because he's there and pick it up. What is our record right now? Customers. Let's see, sort total orders, highest to lowest. Our top three have 250, 246, and 217 orders respectively. Where was the one? 192. Yeah, in your that's number 4. Was on 192. Number 5 is 186. Some people have placed a lot of orders. And amounts spent. Oh man. A couple of these top, I can't even throw out these numbers, but you could definitely buy a new car with the maximum amount the top several individuals have spent. I think a couple of them at least were essentially quasi wholesale. So they ordered the wrong voltage LED and they emailed me to fix it before they shipped it out. I get my LED supplies from Evan Designs. Yeah, I think they do a lot of stuff for like LEDs for models. If I need LED stuff or electronic stuff, I will generally look at least like a DigiKey, because you can get stuff really cheap by comparison because it's not packaged for beginners. Like a rookie with 19 orders. It's checked in as my first order is fulfilled, so I guess it's packed, just not sent out yet. So depending on who it was shipped by, like which carrier we're using, it was likely not picked up, especially if we packed it today. We had a post office pickup today, but no FedEx or UPS. So there's a significant number of orders for both those carriers sitting and waiting for pickup on Monday. Checked it as my first order is fulfilled. Already read that one. Okay. Caught up. So what I figured, it'll probably be FedEx or UPS. It's cool. 17. Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump those numbers up. Oh, wait, this goes here. Oh, there we go. C6. Man. Need more real estate on my desk here. So what happens with the lease at current Mecha Warehouse? Hopefully it wasn't too long of a term. So it was a 3-year term when we signed the lease. I think we will be let out of it early. We're going to have some discussions about that at the beginning of the year. And that's, I think, when the space is going to be listed. Because we moved to that smaller space, the one we had in Concord was the kind of space that's harder to find a new tenant for. So that was a little painful getting out of. It took, I think, like 6 months to find a new tenant, and we had to pay for that effort for that space. This one, the owner is a landlord, or the owner is a real estate agent, and so has direct access to do all the listing stuff, and I think we'll be posting that listing at the beginning of the year. And the presumption is that someone will show up pretty quick. Relatively speaking. The local store, I spent a lot of time in playing TCG on 28 orders. 3 of those are giveaways. Okay, so this was up here. Okay, those are where those 2 go in. So I mean, maybe it's light up the displays and use that to light the pilot. I have to see how this door opens. C20 and E19. How big is the city you're in? The where the warehouse is, hooks it. It's not huge. I don't think there's any of the cities in New Hampshire could be considered big. We really have like 3 like cities, Nashua, Concord, and Manchester, and none of them are really huge. I mean, the population in New Hampshire is below 1 million, like 1.1 million or something like that. Flips open towards the head. Yeah, that might be cool. I'll have to see what kind of view there is in there. So you ordered that Dom from the sale. Any new 30-minute fantasy kits be getting stocked or not? I was interested in Draconian Knight. The new ones, I think a lot of them are on order. I couldn't tell you if that one is or not. Probably. E119. Don't know when it's coming in though, or when we run out of the DOMs though, so I don't know what advice to give you there. Okay, I'll just order the Dom. There you go. I think the Dom is in the 40% off category. It's a really good price. Just have a link to a Reddit post that shows a cockpit to your Discord. Oh, it's up behind the head. Oh, okay. That's cool. Well, Nick, how are you doing today? Rodrigo here. My order arrived 2 days ago. Everything is just fine. Thank you, and thanks to your crew for your hard work. Thanks, man. The Doms regularly... Check the Doms regularly as to not miss ordering. Yeah, I'm kind of seeing it now. That's really cool, and that'll actually be good. Like if I want to be able to bring this and show it off at an in-person competition of some sort, the ability to see that for the judges, be able to stand above it and look in and see the lit up display and to see the paintwork on the inside of the cockpit. That would be really cool. It's not in real life. Would make more sense to enter from the back where there's less armor. Could now have them holding out, but 2 more would make the TriStars. I definitely, so I've had a Dom and a Rick Dom as well as the Dwaj in my backlog for a long time now. Before the sale started, I made sure to grab a spare Dom and Rick Dom because I don't know, I want to have some options for later. And that kind of explains this thing folds up behind here, I think. And that's why this open folds up that way. This stuff didn't make sense to me originally, but I think it does a lot more now. It's really cool. Could never have too many Doms. The weapon loadout on the Dom more than the Rick Dom. So I want to Dwaj. It's good to have a spare wingman map, right? Like, I kind of want to take a Dom or a Rick Dom and try to custom turn it into the, was it the R35 Dom or whatever? That I have the HG of that I did as a competition build a ways back. I feel like building a master grade of that would be a pretty fun project. Okay, C, 7, 8, and 17. That would look nuts, do it. Yeah, I think that'd be a fun custom build to do at some point. gonna reiterate that half the reason we're shutting down is the thought of being able to actually spend time enjoying the hobby again would be nice. We're gonna talk about custom DOM projects. Spin around in my chair so fast. Just knocked out for half the stream. So ironic. Oh yeah, it really was. It was a little bit better back when things were full time. I feel like I had a little bit of time to do that stuff, but I feel like the mix of things, trying to make my life what I want it to be at this stage of the game, should hopefully work out. Or at least during certain parts of the year, I might be able to enjoy a lot more building time. I feel Mr. Salmon creeping back up. I feel that. Prioritizing family was the right call. I think so too. I just need to get back to sanity. I want to be able to do the things I want to do. I think there's space for some of that. Those things I want to do being stuff related to the hobby. As I've been spending time winding things down, I feel like I've had a lot of opportunity to think about that stuff, and got some cool ideas floating around in my head. And you might be able to. I got some cool things. Like, I can't wait to hopefully share those eventually, but it's gonna be a little while before I do. Be here when you're ready to share. We love seeing works in progress. Perfect Strike Freedom or Gundam Helios. Dom needs a friend to ship with. I should know these designs better, since I was definitely picking both of those today. It's been a while since I've done them. Let's see. We have one Helios in stock. Helios, I think that's pretty good. Perfect Strike Freedom. We got 2 Perfect Strike Freedoms. Wow. I think I would lean towards Helios as well. They're both decent designs. these go? Oh, thankfully that landed on the chair. This would have been a great part to lose on the floor. Some of the perk strike that I use in a kit bash. I'm not a big fan of its design. Interesting. What'd you not like about the design? Oh, is this? Oh, that's pretty awesome. Oh, but that's backwards. I don't like the colors in the Freedom's weapons versus suit. Might be just HG limitations. A lot of what I built seemed lacking, and like it should be more to it. And a lot of those Battlelog kits were basically, I mean, any build series kit's based on whatever other kit that they've got. And I want to say, I mean, those might have been the more custom ones, but a lot of them end up based on like old kits by comparison. Yes, that's cool. So in the door is the actual like heads-up display or something in front of the face. Does that how that works in the show? Is that something they pull down? Like some of the Gundams have like screen targeting things they pull over, or is it just always active? They were essentially recolors. Some of them were the Ground Gundam and Urban Combat type, and the Crimson Custom, Goof Custom or whatever, were basically recolors. PG Red Astra has a similar vibe to cockpits. I think Helios and like some of them were fresher designs, and I think the Helios and Perfect Strike Freedom were included in those ones, maybe. Okay, C9. Sky Zero is basically a recolor. Yep, that's one. My one of my sons is building the Sky Zero right now. You can watch the anime on Crunchyroll to the snap build to see this thing in motion. Yeah, or at least find some clips of it or something, just to understand what it was supposed to be doing. More Helios. Okay, no more Helios in stock. Just put the order in. Nice. And actually, my son's birthday today. We gave him an HG Curios. Been big on the color orange lately, so maybe get him something orange. At least that was the directive from Kate. birthday in December. Rules, still a presents. Yeah, but also give it not as spread out. So, my birthday is tomorrow. I fellow December birthday. Greetings to your son. Goof, Astrid, Red Frame, Sky Zero, and Ground Type were just recolors. The Helios, Live Lance, Blazing, Barbatorus, and the Command Quant were quote-unquote original. Clearly he needs an orange dom. He's not quite at the painting range. He's middle child, 7 years old, so he's not building pretty well on his own. Not painting, customizing, or any of that kind of stuff yet. We ain't gonna learn no younger. I love the North American type black ground gun, and the color scheme always gets me. Orange sounds like an ECHG gun Leon. Not sure how he would feel about that one. Oh, this one as a step is basically saying to unfold that. Yeah, I think that'll be super cool. Now I feel like I have to. This will be an interesting project. There's a sea coupe design that's orange, not sure if it was P Bandai only. Oh, interesting. Ground gun reminds me of the San Francisco Giants colors. You guys have seen the there's a number of HG kits, I think, that were custom, like ARC 78s for different Japanese baseball teams or something. Okay, E129, H17. Let's get both the H's. So 7 and 8. Yep, and Zaku's 2 for said teams. To imagine someone out there made a baseball field diorama using them. That would be really cool. Okay, E1, 29 and 30. I'm getting more and more excited about doing stuff to this kit. Definitely not going to be a rush job. Man, I gotta make sure we get this deadline taken care of before we're supposed to ship before the end of the month, but before I plan on leaving for the break. Spend like 4 hours a day for like 2 weeks working on this. This is a great kit. Love it as a redacted build. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it was well received. But this is one of those kits a lot of people didn't consider buying, but it's clearly a much nicer kit, better kit than people might have assumed. Okay, we'll hook you up to a Baja Blast IV drip. There you go. I'm more of a fan of the traditional Mountain Dew though. Where am I at? I'm a big fan of the old Game Fuel Mountain Dew. I haven't heard of that. What was that like flavor like? They still had the one they released around Halo 3. I think it was Cherry Citrus. Was it like Code Red mixed with the other two spin-off flavors? Yeah, like a cherry lime. Oh, interesting. Okay, so with this, and this guy here goes in like that. Man, this thing's pretty intricate. This is going to be challenging to take apart later, maybe. We'll see. Oh. I don't think I'm even going to finish the torso tonight. This is probably one of the most complicated torsos for a kit I've built. Don't drink much regular soda, but I go for Code Red or Mexican Coke when I have soda with sugar. Game Fuel and Doritos powered mini a college all-nighter. All the gold pieces of your torso assembly swing freely, or am I just too early in the assembly of that section? So far, yeah, it swings. They swing freely, I think. I think somebody just dropped some packages off my door. Almost 10 o'clock. Poor UPS driver or whoever it was. No, I came in late by making up by leaving early. Hope everyone has a good rest of the night. Peace. See you later, Velocidad. Doing hot, cool ranch Doritos doesn't sound like it would work, but they are amazing. All I can think of when you say that is the what was it? Is it SNL skit relatively recently with Jack Black? It was like Flaming Hot Preparation H or something like that. Everyone else see that? I don't really watch SNL, but occasionally I'll see clips. And that was hilarious. Definitely in the category of something that I think only Jack Black could do and pull off. That was a great bit. Yeah, that was a good one. Gold pieces are meant to be like piston stabilizers for the arms. That's cool. The other good one that I keep going back to is that President Washington one. I think they actually did a couple, but the first one, I think it was the units of measure or whatever. That's hilarious too. Nate Bargatze, or however you spell it. Yeah, Stu President Watch skits are my favorite of SNL. They're great. It actually, I forget how we got in the topic, but Kate was saying something about quantity of something the other day, and I was just like, no, wait a second, we have to pause this conversation and watch this SNL skit. It's the only logical conclusion to what we're doing right now. Grades 1 through 12, so it doesn't. No, we don't do that. One, 16, and 17. Working some ideas for a part. I don't know if I want to try to scratch build from the runners or try to mod weapons for. Cool. What kind of like concept are you going for? Which the president watching skits right now. They're great. And they're the kind of funny that you can go back and watch again later. A microphone. Interesting. It's not what I was expecting. So this one will go over here. Nobody knows how. Two ideas I were making it from runners or modding the sword. Yeah, at this scale, I don't know, like, how big, like, you thinking like a concert studio mic or something, or it's supposed to be proportionate to the rest of the unit? It'll be interesting to see what people do with this kit. I think there's a ton of possibilities. I'm not 100% on what I'm doing yet. I'll have a better idea this week, so I'm not going to do anything to the sword yet, but I can tinker with the runners, sure. I'm calling it a night. Have a good one. See you later, dude. Kembu is the same scale as the mega-sized unicorn, I think. Yeah, 148, right? That one fixed. These mold lines are very prevalent. Bedbound Nick, enjoy the rest of your stream and happy birthday to your boy. Your family has a wonderful week. Thanks, you too, Christopher. Thank you for stopping by. All right. Excellent. B18. I don't think these look like stabilizer pistons, unless they're things that come out and you mean by come out and connect after the fact, like stabilize the arm in a extended position or something. I think some full mechanics feel very similar to master grades, and this is kind of in that category. This definitely has an inner frame and armor over it, at least in a lot of spots. I see it. They're pistons inside the that's really cool. Wish first production run had more clear armor parts. How many did it have? I never opened that box. Probably just the white armor bits. Was it all the white armor bits? Was it just some of them? Like legs and some of the arms. Wish it was like entire armor bit. Yeah, it'd be cool. Like some of these chest parts, there's definitely detail under them and stuff. Yeah, these pistons are really cool. This is like way more involved than the typical full mechanics that I've seen. And it's really kind of cool. All right, A22. Like it doing part clear armor, gave me enough to do half clear, half normal, or got 100% clear armor, right? Yeah, I mean, do the 100%, and then you can kind of choose. Ton of mold lines in this part too, or some big ones anyway. I anticipate a lot of cleanup after priming on this one. My mom is getting me a restarted cordless engraver for Christmas. Might have to test it out with this. Oh, it'd be interesting. Resparked. Okay. Okay, so this goes in the front there, and then F2. Alright, so this one goes up under there. G17. Yeah, I'm not going to finish the torso tonight. That's hilarious. So a lot of torso to this one. And the other one I need is C3. The main character from Anime. I think it's the main, whatever you call it. I don't know what they, how they refer to these things. C3. Anybody in the chat watch the whole thing? What are these suckers called? It's not like a mobile suit or anything, right? It's got some other name probably. Called AMAMs. Does that stand for something? Gundam's at home, right? Funny enough, I built many of these kits, but I've yet to watch it. I just like the mech designs and kind of fun kits. There are definitely some cool mecha designs and have a different vibe than, say, Gundam does, and how they're designed, which is cool. You know, if you build a lot of Gundam stuff, sometimes trying something else is cool. I hate when they put nubs in between things like this. It really limits how I can attack it. I guess it's going to get covered though, so I probably should worry less about it. Is the anime on Netflix? Not sure. Is it available anywhere? I want to say it's probably on YouTube or something originally, right? Or am I wrong on that? Maybe it's Crunchyroll? Automobile Artificial Intelligence Mount. That's a mouthful. I've not watched it, but I use Google. Say that 5 times fast. Yeah, it seems like it'd be challenging. Okay, G13, G23, E120. Probably the last chunk of this for tonight. G13. Looks to be on Crunchyroll. Interesting. And runners go flying. kind of camera do you use for your stream? Jory, there's got two of them, and they're I want to say Logitech C922s or 920s, I think. I forget which one exactly. Over both, the downward camera looks really crisp. Yeah, it's not bad for what it is. I don't think they're super duper expensive. I would love to switch to like a dual DSLR setup or something, but it's also way more expensive. These are relatively inexpensive cameras. I don't even know if they make or offer that particular model anymore, but they weren't, I want to say they were sub $100 cameras. These are going to be internal, so I don't think any of those edges will be visible. Beautiful. I love it when it works out that way. This should go up underneath. That's really cool. So I think the one other piece left on the torso, well, there's a couple like over shoulder wings here to kind of connect the shoulder armor to the torso, and then a joint here to allow this to ride over the waist, I think. So that'll be what we work on next week, I think. Plan is to be back next week, same time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Pick up where we left off with this kit and make some more progress on it. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Hope you guys had a good time. See you all next time.